Can you explain what that's like going 39 years of living a normal life and then just one day to the next you're here?
Um, it's hard, Um, I've been depressed a lot at times, but I try to, keep my head up. I have mental illness with depression. It's depressing at times. Um, it's hard. It's not easy, and when I look at it, I tell myself, I'm homeless, but I'm my situation is what I'm going through. My kids also are feeling the impact from it. We're separated, not together as a family. I'm missing out on a lot of their lives, just family activities and being there. So it's hard to keep your head up at times and to keep pushing, but I do my best. Um, I was suicidal a couple of times. Thank God, um, he still got me here. I'm thankful, but at the time, just you you get in a place where you feel like you're alone and you just want to give up on life,
Yeah.
but you got to find some type of resource or within you to keep pushing, to tell yourself you're worth it. It's going to get better because it's you have to be safe out here on the streets. I don't have people to attack me, walk up for me, steal my belongings. It's you think you're okay long as you stay to yourself and do the right thing, but it's things that approach you that you're not looking for involving yourself in that comes your way, and you have to be prepared. And there's a lot of mental people on the street, illness, people on drugs, just people angry at themselves or let go, and they take it out on others. Is people stealing and robbing from you just to keep up with their habits or whatever. So it's dangerous, but God's been protecting me for the least part. I had some encounters, but I'm okay.
Going back to something that you said, what do you hold on to in those moments where you feel like giving up?
My kids is what matters to me most. Like I don't have nothing without them. Like it made me emotional. I'm sorry, but you know they're all I got. So they keep me pushing because I want to be back with my kids again. I just I'm a person who loves family, you know. And God brought me to the place in my life, had me to realize what I'm going through. I'm not going through for nothing. Um, I have people, believers of the ministry of the church, to tell me that God has a purpose for me. That you know what I'm going through. I'm going to have a story to tell. I'm going to be a testimony, and I'm going to be able to help other people and come back and help the homeless and things like that. So to keep myself and stay strong. So I'll try to look at it positively. But my kids, they keep me going. Like I just that's all I think about. But God brought me to a place um where He had to put me by myself, and I had to come to terms and realize, face myself in the mirror and look at all my wrongdoings, and you know, even as being a mother, I wasn't perfect. So I had to go to my kids about a lot and apologize and ask for forgiveness and go to God, and He has me to face my wrongs before I can go forward to get better.
So how has your view of life changed in these past 4 years?
It just made me more awareness of what's out here. Um, it taught me how to not to take life for granted. You know, one day you could have it, and you could be just living and have a job and just think you're all set and you're well together, and you could lose it like nothing. You never know what's going to happen in your life.
And then you also said that even though in these situations you tend to keep to yourself, there's still trouble that finds you.
Yeah.
So how do you do to avoid those troubles?
Well, I'm a loner right now. I speak to a couple of people. There's a couple of homeless people that some people put the homeless all in one basket
Yeah.
and judge us the same. And I want to say they shouldn't do that. We all have a story,
Yeah.
and we're not all out here because of substance abuse or it's some people been beaten. Everybody has a story. Like I met one man, he's homeless, and he was about to give up on life. Like he lost his family due to a fire, and he's the only survivor. Like I get it. God got me to where I'm going through my own situation, but I'm able to hear other people's stories, and it helps me out along the way, you know, and lets me know that it's different type of people, and you could be put in any type of situation and end up homeless, but it's all about how you deal with it and you take it and receive it and make it a positive and get back up, you know. So me, I'm just trying to take my story because I look at it like he showed me like, dang, when you think you're going through something, he brings somebody else in my life and I hear their story and I'm like, wow, I couldn't imagine, like you way worse than me. So they're like, not to be, you know, not to mean it in a bad way, but it makes me, well, dang, when I thought I had a, you know, like
Yeah, yeah.
look at it like, wow, you know, I can keep going from this. Somebody out there in a worse situation than me, even though we're all considered
And
homeless.
they could say the same thing about the next person.
Yeah, you know, it like opens my eyes and it helps me to push harder, to 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 get out of my situation and just pray for the next person. You know, that
Yeah,
God helps them or send someone help them find their way. And the thing that's so sad about it, like even with kids and young adults, young teenagers, like for me to see that and witness that they're homeless as well. Like certain, it's not just adults or it's 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 the handicap, it's the elderly,
yeah,
it's different number of people that are homeless, and when you get to see that hands on, it touches my heart, like you know, and it's like wow, you know, you can't be selfish. You're only thinking about self, but yeah, you have to think about your own situation and your problems. Can't be always concerned about others, but I have a heart, and it just makes me that when I get on my feet, I want to be able to give back to the
sure.
homeless, you know, because it's kids and all these different types of people out here that's in need, and they all have stories.
Yeah, but that's hard to see from the outside, though. Like
Yeah, it is
if you don't live it,
because
it's easy to put everybody
I
in a
used to
box.
walk past the homeless all the time, but I used to be like, God bless, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
But I never thought in a million years I'll be a homeless.
yeah.
So now it's like it's an eye opener. You know, God, I just look at it like God do everything for a reason. It's something He wanted me to see. It's something He wanted me to see within myself, to be able to get right with my own situation, my own life, my own family, me as a person, and just you just never take life for granted. Never think that you have it too good, because God gives and He take away.
Sure.
You know, and when He takes away, He does it for a reason, because you have to put Him first. You have to. Some people are not thankful for what they receive in life, and you have to know that it comes from a higher calling. You know, you're blessed for a reason. So sometimes you gotta give thanks, and you gotta be sincere. And it has to come from the heart, because if not, God will take it all away from you and let you know realize a lot of things you can't take for granted.
So there's situations that people go through, and there's always a positive side to it. Because even though you're going through
Yeah,
this right now, you said a lot of positive things.
yeah,
So that's good. You're seeing it in
yeah.
a good way. Which, when you get out of this, it will greatly help you.
It's made me a stronger believer in God. It made me be more sincere and realize the poverty that's in the world, the what's really going on, and to see things for what they are, and to learn how to accept certain things that we can't change, because everything we can't change is not everything is not going to change, but some things we can make a change on some things in life, and some people they make change and it's a positive and a big impact, and it helps others, not alone just themselves. So is you just find your way and you see what it is that God wants you to do here on earth before leaving, because some of us are meant to help other people, you know. So you just got to find your calling.
Elizabeth, in these 4 years that you've been out here, have you stayed in the streets or have you tried the shelters?
Um, I went to the rehab, then I went into the shelter one time. I messed it up on my own by missing curfew, but right now, it's been hard to get in. Basically, it's like really hard for the women. They have more male beds than female beds, So a lot of the times you get told it's no female beds, it's no female beds. But I try to, every now and then I get discouraged and I think about giving up and just, but I gotta keep trying
You
because
know,
nothing is just gonna happen.
that's one thing that I don't understand. That there's always more male bets than female bets. I
Yeah,
think that the women are more vulnerable in the streets.
yeah, you're not the only person who said that, and I feel the same way. But I don't know why it's like that. But it is more men um, on the streets than women. So I don't know. Maybe it's just trying to give men the opportunity, to, to be stable and independent.
But it would make more sense to take care of the most vulnerable, right?
Yeah,
Women and children first, as they say,
yeah,
right?
yeah. But I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes people look at the government and the system because I did it. I'm one of the people that did it, and from the outside looking in, you don't know the whole story, and I judge like the system is messed up. Like, why is it this way? Or give my opinion and feel like it should be this way or that way. But now looking at certain things by living on the streets and how certain people are and what they do, I can understand why dealing with certain things with the government or the system is the way that it is, because some people mess it up, and the things that they have going on, it makes it bad for others. So it's just like a reality check, an eye opener for a lot, because you have a lot of people here that I have realized they don't want the help. They want to stay where they at, and you can't change it. Like, you can't force them. I don't know, now that the law has passed for the homeless, I don't know what they're gonna do with those people. I don't know if it's really a mental thing or they just gave up on life, but it's some people don't want the help. It's some people out here that are handicapped and disabled, and some people feel sorry for them. And I can understand that, but some of them you can't, because what I have witnessed, they have the income. Some of them are even veterans. Some of them receive income that they receive in 3 checks, and they don't care to want to pay rent or have a roof over their head. They want to stay out here on the streets. And some of them are not all on. Some of them are, that's the fault, and some of them not. They're just mental to the point that whatever happened in their life, they don't want the help. They don't want to continue. They want to be where they are and to death. So it's like you don't what can you do? How do you get those people off the streets when they don't want it and they have the income to pay the bills? You know. So
Why do you
it's
think that is? Have you spoken to anybody that thinks that way?
they just they won't talk. Some of them, like, it's a lady right now. She's under the overpass. She's she's Haitian. She's from Haiti. She doesn't speak much English, but she won't move. Like, she been there for months. She won't let you help her. She won't eat. She won't move out the rain. She's in one spot all day, every day. And like, certain people stop, they give her clothes, they try to help her. She don't want. She want to be left alone. And it's like, you have to. At the end of the day, she's still human. You have to respect her mind, but that's mental. She needs mental help because she just done gave up on life, on herself. I don't know her story. I don't know, but it's sad. A lot of people stop along the way and they reach out to her to help her, but she doesn't want it.
I've met people like that,
Yeah,
and I
it's
don't
sad. And I,
understand.
I tell God, since I've been out here, they diagnosed me with depression, schizophrenic, bipolar, and anxiety. I have anxiety very bad. But for the mental part of the mental illness, I go to God about it and I tell him I'm gonna be okay. I don't need this medicine. I'm stronger than that. I can fight this. I'm not gonna claim crazy or claim mental. So um, it's just something that I take my meds. I do what the doctor said, but I tell God to help me keep my sanity. I don't want to claim crazy. I don't want to claim mental. I don't feel like I lost my mind. I'm not in my right state of mind. I'm very aware of what's around me and what's going on. And I would never reach out to hurt another human being. But so far, he's answered my prayers, and I've been strong with that. So I thank God for that. Because some people, I realize, they have no control over the
Yeah.
mental, and they're really, you know, messed up. So all you can do is just pray and try to and move forward.
I've noticed that everybody that I've spoken to here has a very good relationship with God.
Yeah, for the most part, well, with me, I can't speak for everybody. I was always a believer. I grew up, a Christian in my mom's home. But since going through this journey, it made my faith stronger. Um, I I don't know. Some people, believe in meditation in the third eye and stuff like that. I meditate at times. I've seen certain visions. I hear voices. The doctor wants to call it schizophrenic and tell me that I'm schizophrenic. One day I was in the mental hospital here, and I told the doctor, I said, "Are you a believer in a higher power or in Christ?" He said, "Yes." I said, "I asked that because what I'm about to say to you, like, is very, I want to get a response. It's very funny to me." I say, according to the Bible, you have people in the Bible who heard voices and saw visions, and it was God or angels, and they did what was told to them. Some of them saw bad and was aware of the evil in the world. I said, if the Bible is based on truth and you're a believer, that means you believe the stories in the Bible. I said, so why not today for a person to hear voices or to see something, they're crazy. They're called schizophrenic. I said, I'm not taking that medicine. So I'm a believer of the Bible. He said, dang, Miss Menace, I don't know what to say to you. You're not crazy. Right? So the nurse was like, oh my God. And she just walked out like, I don't even know what to say. And I said, no, that's something to think about.
Yeah.
Because we use the Bible here on earth for a lot of reasons, regardless, even to get sworn in for court, and it's supposed to be the only book in earth that tells the truth and the whole truth. So it's like, if you're a believer in the higher power in Christ, you're going by the word of the Bible.
Sure.
And if you go off the stories, and what was told and what people seen and what they did, these people wasn't called schizophrenic. It wasn't no medicine. It was all Christ and God and the power. So why now do I have to take this medicine and the government is telling me I'm schizophrenic? Like, no. I say, but if you want to give me the check for being schizophrenic, I'm willing to take that for income to help pay the bills.
Sure.
Maybe God working it out this way. He was like, oh my God, I don't know what to say. He just walked out of the room. So I just laughed, and that was like the laugh of the day. And the doctor, all he did was all day was like, I don't even know what to prescribe you. Like, I don't even know what to say. I gotta go home and tell my wife this story. Like I never had no patients come back. Like that was something to really think about. Like, wow.
That's good. I've
And I'm
never heard
like,
that.
yeah,
I've
you
never
know.
heard that.
So he was like, dang, I can't even. I don't know if to put you schizophrenic or not. So that's kind of like a joke. So I felt, like, yeah, God is just showing me to find my way and to open my eyes to the reality of certain things. And, once He has me and my kids to come to, to, to lift up from this and bounce back, to be able to lend a helping hand back to society, you know?
I hope that you don't lose that faith in God and that you keep moving
Yeah,
forward. I really do.
yeah. I hope not neither. But it helps get you through the day.
Yeah.
Especially when you're down and you feel like you're alone. Because being out here, you have days where you're a loner and the sun doesn't shine bright. You full of troubles, and you get down and you just wonder like when the change. We all have to be patient. They say things come in due time, but I'm not gonna lie. It's been days out here. I'm patient. I'm irritable. I'm like I'm not used to living like this. Like God, everyone is not made for the streets.
Yeah.
But it not only teach you about what's around you, but it's a lot. It teaches you survival. You begin your animal instincts kick in. You start to learn what it is to really survive and to be without. You know how to make ends meet. How to just you know not take advantage of the situation or to take advantage of anyone else's time and energy or their money or them helping you and just steady trying to be independent on your own even though you're not financially stable and and you find yourself you're in animal mode
Yeah.
you know so it's just an eye opener to a lot of reality in life and it's about if you're gonna let it make you or break you.
Sure.
And I look to, I told one homeless, I said, you never know what God got in store for you. You know, we fall down, we supposed to get up. Some people, they close the door, God didn't close it. You close the door on yourself, because you have some people that went homeless and they're celebrities right now. They got things that they never could imagine. So you never know, or you have people that was homeless and God has blessed them more than they could have ever been blessed, even though they're not a celebrity, and they came back and they returned the favor and gave back to the homeless. So you never know what God has in store for you. You have to be willing to be positive and just be willing to get back up. You got to put the foot forward. They say when you make the effort to show God that you're willing to try to help yourself, He carries you and help and picks you up to carry you the rest of the way. But you have to make the effort. It's just not going to happen. So I just hope that God, favors me and see that I'm trying for the most
Appreciate
part.
you.
Because when you try to help yourself, other things come. You can't expect for people to do things for you.
What would you say to anyone watching? How can it help you?
Um, if you're homeless, keep your head up and just keep pushing, and with God's grace and mercy to get better. But you have to find yourself. Take the time to look yourself in the mirror and admit to your flaws and your wrongs and whatever it is that went on in your life that caused whatever. Because for you to be able to move forward, because you can't keep holding on to the past or living the same way. It's something that is not right. If you don't let go of the past and change it and realize why you're in the situation you're in, you're not going to be able to move forward. It's something that God wants you to see in yourself to be able to move forward. Or if not, you're going to still be at a standstill and continue to go down. So and I say that because since my journey and me realizing a lot, every time I go to God about something and I realize more and I go to Him for forgiveness and admit to my wrongs, He turns around and He sends from the littlest things. It could be somebody walk up and say, "Here go $1," or
Hmm.
"Here go a plate of food." He never lets me go hungry. He allows me with clothes on my back, and it's homeless people out here that don't even have that. You know, so it's still a blessing, and he sends something positive my way, whether it's a message or like even for this today, it's a reason. Like that's why I didn't tell you no. You know, so it's always a door open for another, for you to get in, to be lifted, to get ahead, for accomplishments in life. Like today, I don't. God just told me to do this interview, but at the same time, He's telling me that some way, somehow, it's going to be a door open for me. Not, and somebody needs to hear my story. He told me that I had a story to tell. So, I was supposed to sit here for this moment to be able to tell at least some of my story. So I didn't turn around and walk away. I listened and obeyed. You know,
And I appreciate you for sitting down with me. I really do.
there's no
Elizabeth,
problem.
thank you so much for your time.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.